Hello students. So today in science 2 we are going to see about minerals. What is minerals? Minerals are an organic substance which are required for our biological functions, or it is an inorganic substance. Okay, inorganic substance not derived from the living matter of our body needed. They are in trace or only in small amount required for our body development. When we say about minerals, minerals are a substance which is essential for the development of an organisms and also to do various biological functions. When we say about nutrients, so these minerals, they are constitute for the development of the teeth, bone, tissues, blood, muscles and nerve cells. When we say about these minerals, it is of 16 types of minerals which is necessary for the body development, and they are grouped into two types, that is macro minerals and micro minerals. Macro minerals required by the human bodies are, we shall see what are the macronutrients, macro minerals, that is calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium and manganese. Then micro minerals. Micro minerals required for the body developments are called as the trace elements, and they are sulfur, iron, chlorine, cobalt, copper, zinc, manganese, molybdenum, iodine and selenium. So these are the micro minerals which are essential for our body development. Now let's see about the minerals and their deficiency. So when we say about these minerals, we have already grouped into macro and micro. So macro also calcium, sodium and phosphorus are needed in large amounts. So these can be obtained from dairy products, fish, egg, even sodium is obtained from common salt. Then when we say about potassium, it is obtained from bananas, sweet potatoes, nuts, whole grains and citrus fruits. So what does it does? That is, it is constituent of bones and teeth development, and also the enamel of the teeth is maintained by calcium, and clotting of blood and control muscle contraction is done by calcium. When we say about calcium deficiency, the bone deformities and poor skeletal development and osteoporosis is a disorder which is noted in adult is due to the deficiency of calcium. Next, we shall see about the sodium. So, sodium I have already told its source is common salt only. Then it maintains its function as blue fluid balance and involves in neurotransmission, that is muscle development. So disorder is muscle cramps and nerve impulses do not get transmitted. Then potassium. So potassium we have seen about where it's found, that is the sources, but its main function is regulates nerves and muscle activities. And disorder is muscular fatigue, that is muscle nerve impulses do not get transmitted. When we say about micronutrients, that is iron and iodine are so important for our body development. When we say about iron, it is seen in spinach, dates, green broccolis, then the whole cereals, nuts and fish liver oils. Then it's a functions, when we say, means important component of hemoglobin, that is the patients will be anemic, that is deficiency of iron leads to anemia. Then iron, when we say iron, it is seen in milk, seafoods and iodized salt. Function is formation of thyroid hormones, high thyroid hormone, so its deficiency leads to goiter. So these are the minerals and the deficiency. Commonly we have seen, even though 16 minerals are present, we have seen only a few, that is which is most needed, that is the macro and micro. When we say about macro, calcium, sodium, potassium or macronutrients which is needed for the basic development, and micronutrients iron and iodine are must needed. Next, let's see about a deficiency, that is kwashiorkor. So, kwashiorkor is a condition of severe protein deficiency. So, we are nowadays seeing about many deficiencies because our food is not having all the nutrients which is necessary for our body development. So, kwashiorkor is a common disease noted for the protein deficiency. It affects children between the age of 1 to 5 years of age whose diet mainly constitute carbohydrates but lack in protein. But we are having carbohydratic food more. We are inhaling a carbohydratic food but lack in protein. So this leads to a disease called kwashiorkor. And the next disease called as the marasmus. So marasmus, it usually affects the infants below the ages of 1. Even on the it is noted, this disease is noted, or disorder is noted in the ages of below 1 years, that is in the month babies during their month development, when the diet is poor in carbohydrate, fat and protein. So these trees are so much important for the developing child. So if this disorder is noted, it is called as the marasmus disorder, that is poor deficiency. So the diet is having poor carbohydrate, fat and protein content. Whereas kwashiorkor, so when we say about kwashiorkor and marasmus, they are having the same content, because marasmus is also having protein deficiency. Along with protein, it is having carbohydrate and fat. Whereas kwashiorkor, it is seen only due to the deficiency of protein. Okay. Now let's see about what food we have to engage. So what is the basic for food hygiene? So personal hygiene. So when we say about food hygiene, a personal hygiene is also necessary. So poor personal hygiene may also leads to development of microorganisms to causes the food spoilage. So food spoilage is one of the, or food poisoning is one of the basic reason for food hygiene. So when we are maintaining our personal hygiene in a proper way, it also leads to the development of food hygiene. Okay, so when we say about food spoilage is undesirable change in the normal state of the food. So this is due to some microorganisms like bacteria. So when they develop or they are seen in our food materials, and unknowingly, because it's in microorganisms, we are consuming that food, it leads to food hygiene, leads to some food spoilage and leads to a disease and disorders. Sign of food spoilage includes the changes in appearance, that is how we can find the change in the appearance of the food materials. So the when we say about the food, it has some proper texture and color. But if spoilage occurs, the texture, the color, it changes. Even the odor and taste will be changed due to food contamination. So factors responsible for food spoilage or contamination is of two types, that is internal factor and external factor. Internal factors includes the enzymes activity and moisture content of the food, that is the enzyme acting on that food content. External factors includes the adulterants. Adulterants in the food also leads to contamination, that is it may leads to the utensils and also the equipments or unhygienic condition, cooking area and lack of the storage facilities also leads to the food contamination. So that's all students. The remaining or next class we can see about the food preservations to avoid this contamination, how we can preserve our food. Thank you.